The Adventures of Fröken Pussen. The Adventures of Fröken Pussen and Her Adventures. I was going to draw these, and then I realized that the first drawing was actually pretty lucky, and the rest of them didn't come out that well. So before we start the little story that I sketched, because I'll tell the story of the Adventures of Pussen, but first let's pay tribute to, this is a little retarded Pussen. You said it was weird, but this is a little too weird. One of the eyes is not as big as the other. What are my other attempts? Oh, here we go. Pussen. I was trying to get Pussen kissing. Anyways, it was a good half hour of sketching, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going down a rabbit hole. So we are just going to, instead we sketched out a story, and maybe this video will be the first draft, and maybe I'll eventually sketch this or something. I don't know. I should send something, because at the very least finish the project. So that's what we're gonna do. All right. So this is the Fröken Pussen and Her Adventures. Let's see. I'm referring to my notes here. Pussen was a cat owned by a woman named Noelle who loved her very much, and she would greet her every day with a kiss on the nose. But you see, Noelle, she worked at the scuola, and so she had to leave in the morning and come back in the afternoon. This was fine for Pussen because she enjoyed having the house to herself. But one morning, Pussen was locked out of the house. Oh no. And so Noelle went off to work, not noticing that poor little Pussen could not get back in. So she had to explore the neighborhood, of course. They lived near a river, near the woods. So little Fröken Pussen decided to go exploring. And first she went down to the river where there was a bridge. And she went to the water, and she found a scorpada, or a turtle. "Hello, scorpada," said Fröken Pussen. "My name is Pussen." And she kissed the turtle on the nose. The turtle promptly hid into his shell, never to come back out again. "How rude," said Fröken Pussen, as she continued on her adventure. Next, Fröken Pussen leaned over the water, and what did she see when she leaned over the water, looking into the river? The most beautiful cat she had ever seen. This cat had the most beautiful, large, bright eyes, the longest, most elegant whiskers, the most magnificent markings, much like some people's beards. Fröken Pussen could not believe it. Why, there's no other cat as beautiful as me in this world. And yet here it is, right in front of me. So Fröken Pussen leaned in to kiss this other beautiful cat on the nose. And she promptly fell into the river, into her own reflect hole, or reflection. Oh, poor Fröken Pussen. So she climbed out of the river, wet and angry at the trick this strange but beautiful cat had just played on her. And she huddled under the bridge to dry off and stay warm. There, she found another creature. Oops, sorry. This creature was fuzzy like Fröken Pussen. It had big eyes, much bigger than Fröken Pussen. And when it leaned down to look at her more closely, to see just what type of delicious little treat she was. It showed teeth much sharper and bigger than Fröken Pussen's. Yes, this was a troll. So of course, Fröken Pussen kissed it on the nose. And such was the power of Pussen that the troll smiled, and the troll picked her up and held her, purring against his troll chest until she was warm and dry again. Such is the power of Pussen. Pussen! Pussen! You heard the cry all the way down the road, all the way across the river, all the way under the bridge. It was her owner. It was Noelle calling for her Pussen. And she jumped out of the troll's arms. She ran across the bridge, passing up the beautiful but mischievous cat who lived in the water below. She passed the shell of the turtle who was still hiding from kisses, back to her home, back to her owner's arms, happy to be back home after all her adventures. That's all I got so far. It would make a good children's book, but yeah. It was going to be illustrated, Fröken Pussen, and I was like, you know what? I was going to take a minute, but maybe, anyways. May you not be asleep yet, and then you can enjoy that little story. Perhaps there'll be more to come. Take care, Noelle.